Are you ready, guys? Whoa.
Bro, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
Well, we're not ready.
Why?
Let me explain why. But first, let's go back to where it all began.
Copart, the place where dreams come true. Or so I thought. This is where I bought my dream Audi R8, and it's been nothing but chaos. Plan was simple: buy, fix, enjoy. But the R8 had other plans. Engine half out, engine fell back in. Out, in, like it's stuck in some weird mechanical limbo. And today, we are finding out if it finally stays in for good.
Alright. That's right, the whiteboard is out, and that's when you know it's getting serious. So what will it take to bring this R8 back to life? First step, battery.
She's been sitting off grid for 4 months, so let's get some life back into this dead battery. No juice, no start, so this step is very critical.
Done. Battery is charging. First win on the board. We're gonna use different marker. Done. Let's keep this going. Coolant AC pipes.
Step 1 was pretty easy, and the step 2 requires to jack the car up. I don't think you need to take the wheels off, but I took them off anyway because they're absolutely massive and they block a lot of light. So now it's time to crawl under the car and start connecting the pipes up. To be honest, connecting them up, it wasn't as bad as taking them off. To take them off, I struggled a lot, and yeah, it was a few coarse words involved in that, but this time wasn't as bad. And don't get me wrong, there was still a couple small wee pipes like buried under the body, so yeah, it was still complicated and annoying, but we got it done at the end. I'm happy to say the coolant lines are done underneath the car, and AC pipes were pretty easy to fit. This is the bracket that holds 2 coolant pipes, and they go to your oil cooler.
Guys, I know I'm going off track, but let's get this drive shaft in because it will save us doing this later. So prop shaft, torque to 40 newtons. Done.
So now let's move to the side of the car, and there's an AC pipe which was pretty easy to fit. You torque it at 9 newtons. And of course, right beside each other, there's a coolant pipes, and these are for oil cooler. And I had them all blocked up with some tissue just to keep the spiders out.
Perfect. One last thing to do is this coolant tank.
Audi R8 had a recall on these coolant tanks because they're known for splitting, and they are made out of 2 parts. This is the brace that they fitted on a recall.
I'm gonna use this one, and this is brand new that I bought from eBay. Audi Q7 uses the same coolant tanks. The difference is the price. £200 for new, £47 for new.
I have took off the old brace and fitted onto the new tank.
Perfect. The coolant system is done. That took about half an hour, not even joking. So let's go back to the whiteboard. Coolant AC pipes, check. Next one, oil pipes.
So this is the feed pipe. It feeds your engine with the oil, and it goes to the bottom of your tank to your engine. And the second pipe I'm fitting here goes to your engine, and it's called a return pipe. And before I can fit the pipes, I obviously have to take the tissues out, push them in, and it took a bit of effort to make sure it was seated properly, and the second one was exactly the same. So when I was taking the engine out, this is where I struggled. This time it was a breeze. And these pipes are just secured with the bracket that I have resprayed and refurbished. So this is the return pipe that goes to your cooler. And trust me when I say this was absolutely a nightmare to fit. You see, to take this off, it was a breeze. It was so simple, but to fit this back together, it was really, really annoying. Like, not joking. I don't get annoyed much, but this done it. And for some reason, I think the angles weren't right. I don't know if the bracket was bent, but yeah, it was a nightmare.
This was painful. Wow.
So the last oil pipe is your return pipe as well, but it goes from the cooler to the top of your oil tank.
Man, oil pipes gave me grief, but this time I came out on top. Step 3, complete. What's next? Power steering, transmission.
So yeah, the step 4 was really easy. There's literally a pipe and a reservoir and a bracket. But I've done a few other things that took slightly longer, so yeah, I was questioned on that.
Oh, hello there. Bro, you need to stop doing this. I'm sorry, I'm just bored. So what's taking you so long? Well, I know you gave me a list and all, but I don't think it's great. I don't mean in a bad way, but I do think it needs to be improved. What do you mean by that? What needs to be improved? I don't get it. Well, okay, let me show you. When I was working on power steering pipe, I was like, sure, I can do the drive shafts at the same time. So guess what? I just done them. Pretty easy. Then I was thinking, surely I can do the covers as well. Boom, done, just like that. Man, I think you're just being awkward. And then I fitted the bracket for the power steering tank. And I was like, may as well fit this hitch brace as well while I'm at it. But the hitch brace came damaged and it was repaired. So then I cleaned it up and obviously sprayed it black. It was a cheap repair, 10 quid, can't believe that. So I saved 80 quid on that. And of course, fitted a bracket onto the car. Sure, you go enjoy the sun and I'll do the work and I'll just let you know when it's complete. Deal? Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the list was useful, but there was few things that were missing, like literally bolting the engine to the chassis. So this is what I'm doing now, is literally bolting the whole engine to the chassis, and there's only 6 bolts, but they're very important. We're still in step 4, power steering and transmissions. So now I'm doing transmission pipes. These are just coolant pipes. I will have to refill the system later, but I'm still waiting for the fluid. This was actually a really easy step. And oh yeah, this is the cooler that we refurbished in our last video.
Done. Wow, there's so much to do. Step 5, wire loom. Nerve system, that's a big one.
This is the main cable. It goes from the alternator to your starter and your battery. And yeah, I had to use a mega extension to tighten the terminal connection. At the back of the transmission there's a couple of sensors, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm just connecting it and tightening up the loom to make sure everything is nice and neat. And now there's a couple covers. 1, 2, 3.
So I have resprayed and refurbished the starter, looking good.
Yeah, that nearly took my head off, but yeah, that's what happens when you lay underneath the car. And the last terminal for the starter. And of course, let's not forget about this wire loom. There's so many connections, it's insane. Like, that's the reason I called it nerve system, because honestly, without it, nothing can work.
All this needs to go through this wee hole.
Yeah, so to take the wire loom out, it was just as hard as to push it all back in. That hole looks massive, but you couldn't even fit your fist through it.
To get this pile in here, I'm gonna have to remove this.
After a bit of wrestling, I managed to pull the cable through without damaging anything, which was a great success in my eyes.
So the thing is, when you have to remove the wire loom, there's actually wee clips like that, and they usually get broken. So I have bought this kit here from Amazon, and it comes with different types of fixtures. So this is what you get in the box. There's 3 different types, and actually Audi R8 uses a lot of these, and actually quite a few of these. I'm gonna put a link in the description, so if you need them you can order them. Right, it's time to get this whole spaghetti wired up. Wish me luck trying to get this all back together.
So yeah, interior, there's a lot of wires that I had to pull out to take the engine out, and there's a lot of things that has to go certain way. The thing about me, I'm very particular. I needed it back just exactly how I took it out. It's just how I am, and it took extra long, like the relays, the wires, the cable ties, yeah, but in the end I was happy how it came out. And after clipping everything in, it was just a couple more screws to fasten everything together, and that's done.
The spaghetti wires are done, and I'm so glad, because that scared me a bit. There was a lot of stuff happening here, and there's still a few connections to do. This is just a speaker, and then the engine lid thingamajigger, I don't know what you want to call it. So it's actually time. I'm ready to test the system, but before I can do that, I need to take this fuse. I believe it's a high pressure fuel pump fuse, and these are high pressure pumps there, one here and one there. And I really don't want to prime the system because I'm not ready to start the engine, and I don't want any fuel inside the engine at the minute. But I do want to make sure the wiring is correct. So what we're going to do now is we're going to connect the battery up. Oh no, as soon as I connected this, I heard it priming. Yeah. It's just not good. I didn't want that primed, boys. So yeah, that wasn't the fuse. Even though it says that's the fuse, that wasn't the fuse. I heard the pumps prime, so the engine is primed now. We're not going to do anything anyway. We're not going to start because we still need to fit this in here. The reason I haven't fit this when I was doing the oil pipes is because there was a lot of things behind it, and I think that was in the way. So we can do that now. And unfortunately, I wanted to crank the engine before starting properly because obviously of all the fluids and everything else. But we'll probably end up just starting the engine once we're ready. Before we turn the ignition on to make sure everything comes on, there's going to be millions of faults, of course. I'm gonna put this panel back on, like a side panel back on, because it's in the way. Oh man, I'm so nervous because if I done something wrong, it'll be bad news. Okay. Right, everything is on. Now I know the coolant level is not there, but it's in the first gear. The gear is working. Guys, it's safe to say she's alive. Yeah, she's not running because obviously the engine is not ready, but from the electrical side of it, we're good to go. Yeah!
The nerve system. It's all connected and alive. One wrong slip, game over. We nailed it. Step 6. Vacuum connections.
This is definitely the easiest job on this list. A couple pipes and that's it. Job's done. This got burnt off, so I'm gonna make a wee joint maybe. So that's the vacuum pipes all connected.
Vacuum connections. Done.
She's almost ready to wake up. Very close.
Okay, let's speed this up. Fluids.
It's time for the oil tank. So I use this so it's easier to put the pipes back in. So there's one electrical connection, which is your sensor. Beautiful. Perfecto. Time to fill this girl with full of blood. I got this from Autodoc. So the service manual says add 7 liters and then start the engine. We'll leave a tiny bit for the filter. Don't want to run it without it. Brand new. Put a wee tiny bit of oil in here. I never like to put it in dry. That's what she said. So there's 7 liters in here. So this is where we're setting up the level. So before we do the coolant, we'll do the power steering. This is not the right stuff, but it'll do for now. I don't want to run the pump dry. So when the right stuff comes, we will swap it over. So this is very exciting. We're on a final stage. We need to fill the coolant. So that's it. That's all set up and ready. So this is vacuum generator, and this is the compressed air. So it blows this way, and it generates negative pressure on this side. And this is how you pressurize the system. So once that's filled with vacuum, which is sitting at -50, so now we have to wait for about 2 minutes and monitor to see if this arrow falls. If the arrow is falling, it means there's a leak somewhere. So while we wait, I'm going to show you something cool. That's still looking good. Look at this. So all the pipes are sucked up now, just because ours is under vacuum. So look at the pipes underneath as well. It's like literally squished. All of them. Looks like a snake. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So what do? You put this in here. So this has been steady, which is pretty good. It means there's no leaks. So let's go. Let's fill this. This will drop. It has to drop because obviously it's replacing the vacuum with the coolant. And you repeat this process till you're satisfied with the coolant level. It is pretty simple, but obviously the trick is to make sure there's like no air whatsoever. So it could take a couple times. We filled up as much as we can, and obviously it wasn't filling up anymore, and just because it's completely full. So the next part is to bleed the system, so it shouldn't be too hard. It's not the front, so I'm gonna get some screwdrivers. Open this. Okay, so where are we? Aha. So this is the bleed screw. So let's open this. Hang on. Sorry guys, I had to put this down because I couldn't get this. Oh, you hear it? Aha. I'm gonna take a bit of coolant out because we definitely don't need that much. So I'm happy with this, so I'm gonna leave it like that. So let's close this up. I'm using this cap because the other one's a bit tight, so I need to maybe make a couple modifications to make it fit, but that cap will do for now. So I'm so nervous, I nearly forgot these. We need these filters because they have MAF sensors on them. I don't feel ready for this. Before we start the car, we're gonna clear all the fault codes, and the device I'm using for that is the KINGBOLEN EDIAG Elite. This was sent to me to do a couple tests. I've already done a test on the Jaguar. It performed really well. So let's see how well it does on this Audi R8. This is an older car. This is 2008. There's already loads of faults there. Okay, so what do we got? 12 abnormal faults. Fuel pressure regulator, power supply, transmission electronics. What's that saying? Let's clear everything and see if anything comes back. Yeah, there's loads like instrument cluster, parking aid. Right, let's clear everything. Yes. So we got electronics, read, oh, there's none. So there is no engine faults. So that means we're good that way. So yeah, the device seems to be picking up all the faults. Found the car, it's doing a good job. I don't know how you feel about it. I definitely don't feel ready at all. Oh man. Hang on, I'm gonna check something. It sounds like I just woken up a dinosaur or something. That's absolutely nuts. I love it. These are damaged. To replace this, I need to take this heart out. Yeah, I've been wrestling for a couple of days and trying to get this engine out, and it's been pretty much impossible. No, you don't want to do that. No. The water is very bad. A lot of shavings all throughout this filter. Metal shavings are really bad. Guys, this is so scary, you know. I hope I've done everything right. Sweating here. Yeah, I am inexperienced. I don't know what I'm doing. But guess what? This girl is gonna start and she's gonna run again. I promise. She has to work. It has to start. Oh my god, that was so loud.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of smoke, and I use copper grease on the manifold nuts, so I think that's why it's smoking like that. So when the engine started, it was so loud that my father-in-law came down to see what was happening.
Guys, it actually scared me a bit. I forgot how loud this car is. Obviously, there's no muffler on, but oh my god. So scary. Right, let's see what we got here. That's literally empty, nothing. We need to fill more. Oh man, scared me. Literally scared the shit out of me. Don't know if I'm gonna have enough of oil. That was 10 liters. It's literally here, but we'll try it again. Guys, it's ready for round 2. It's so loud. Sounds so good. Runs so good. Wow. It's crazy. Guys, it sounds so good. Like it runs so well. Oh my god, I've been waiting for this moment for so long. Good dog, guys. After months of work, pure grind, we actually got her going. And moments like that makes it worth it. And there's something missing. Hang on. Aha. That's it. Complete. There's still loads left to do, but I'm so glad we got her heart beating again. That was the biggest challenge I ever done in my life. I never took the engine out of anything, not mind this sort of car. So yeah, I'm so proud and I'm so happy. So guys, if you enjoyed this series, please subscribe and like. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.